Hi, and thanks for your interest in Deer Camp Property. We're excited to have you become part of the site. And today we're going to take you through the process of getting you signed up to be on here and get properties added. So thanks again for being here. We'll start here. Once you get to the site and you see at the top right it says login register. The first thing we're going to need to do is get signed up with an account. So this will take you to a typical login page. If you've already registered, that's where you can enter your information. If you have not registered, what we're going through today, you'll see at the bottom there's an orange button here that says register now. That's what we want to click on to begin the process. So let's start out. We got to enter a first name here to get started. So put in your full name that you want to show up in your account. And then we'll need a username and a password. Next, you'll confirm your password and put in your email address. So all pretty straightforward stuff to this point. Okay, this next part you'll see type, and it's autofilled as user. There's two ways you can sign up for this site. You can be a user or a buyer, which gives you the opportunity to save properties that you're looking at, save searches that you're doing. The other way, which we're talking about today, is signing up as an agent. Now, it's very important to make sure you click that drop down and select agent here. If you don't do that, it's not going to give you the opportunity to list your properties on the site. So we want to make sure we have that clicked. The next thing we have the check mark for the I have read and agree to the terms of service, and then we're going to register our account. Okay, now once that happens, we're logged into our dashboard. So it creates your dashboard, and this is going to be the hub of your site for you. Now you're here, and I just want to show you where you can get to. You can come up here to agents, and on agent dashboard, that's where you'll go once you've already got everything set up. So you'll see here, there's not much yet. You're going to have a blank spot here, and you see the few things on here in my profile. You don't have any properties selected yet. So let's look at my profile first. Okay, so once you're signed in, you see the name that I entered in there is the name that's going to be on here. You can enter some information about yourself if you're the owner of your agency, whatever you want to put there. You can put in a picture of yourself. This can either be your picture or maybe your company's logo, whichever you choose there. You're going to put in your phone number, if you have Skype, all your contact information, your website, to make sure that if somebody does like one of your properties, they can get a hold of you. All right, that's the most important part. So, and if you want to put anything in here about yourself, about how you specialize in farm ground or hunting ground, that kind of thing, that's where you can put all that stuff about you or your company. Go ahead and put in your address. If you have a Facebook page, Google+, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you have, you can put it on there. Update. This is where you also change your password if you need to. Okay. On the left side here, it's going to show you your current package. Right now, we're free. We're signed up, but if you see the zeros, we can't put any properties in there. So we can create the account. We just can't add any properties. So to add the property, what we're going to want to do is go to select package. And for demonstration purposes, we're going to select yearly and payment now. Now this is going to take you to the billing information and details. If you have a coupon code, you can enter it here. I've set one up for a test, so we're going to put that in. We're going to apply that, and if you've received an email or anything with a coupon code in it, that's where you'll do that. So billing details here, this is pretty standard stuff. We're going to put in our first name, last name, your phone number, address, This John Smith lives in Deer Camp, Kansas. That sounds like a wonderful place to be, doesn't it? Okay. So then it'll show you your order here. I've got the test one in here. I agree to the terms of service. Now your payment will get processed through PayPal, so it's very secure. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You'll be able to use a credit card or whatever you need. That's just the service that we use to make sure everything's secure and taken care of. And then you'll see your checkout, your order number, date, total, order details, customer details, all your billing information. Okay, so now everything is set. We've got our page, and now I'll show you. We'll go back here and go back to Agent Dashboard. And you'll notice down here now, number of properties. We have 30 properties left that we can put into the site with us in it. Okay, so now I'm going to take you through that process of adding a property. Okay, so there's two places you can get to it here. You've got it right here on your profile, submit property, or you can do it up here at the top, add property. So either one will get you there. We'll go ahead and click on this, and it takes you to the page. Another form to fill out, and the first thing you want to do is name your property. So we'll call this Great Deer Country. Okay, and then here we're going to talk about huge bucks roam this ground. Okay, so you're going to want to put in the description of what you want to put in there. Now, feel free to put in here whatever you want in the description part. If you already have on your website or your MLS site, a lot of times you can just copy and paste the description and everything you want into this. You can even put a link back to your website if you want to do that. That's fantastic. You can put. I'll show you how to do a link here. .yoursite.com. You would highlight it, click the link button, and then type in what your web page is. So www.yoursite.com. Okay, and then you would hit apply. All right, so that's how you would do that. And yeah, feel free to be as creative with this as you want and put as much information in there as you need to. Now, the next thing we'll talk about is getting the property photo in here. Okay, so that's the next phase. And you'll see right here, what you'll do is you can click the plus button right here, and that'll let you browse your computer, or you can see you can drag your files or folders here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab one and drag it over here and drop it in. Okay, so now it's in there. It's not uploaded yet, okay? So we've just queued it up to put it in here. The next step you have to do is, once you've got all your properties in there, or all your photos, you've got to hit upload photo. Now you can see uploaded 0 of 1. So we're going to wait while it does this, and it's going to take it a few moments here, and the more pictures you have, the longer it'll take to upload them. And so while we're waiting on that, I'll show you here, at least one image is required for a valid submission. The featured image will be used to display on the property listing page. Okay, so now you see I've got the orange check mark up here. That means that picture is uploaded, and if I had 10 or 12 pictures, I'd wait for the check marks to pop up on all of them. So now, before we can submit a property, we have to make sure that we hover over one of the pictures and click the star. Now, once the star is clicked, then you'll see the banner up there on the top left. That's your featured image. So when somebody does a search and they find your property, that's the picture that will show up on there. So you have to make sure you have one of those. Otherwise, if you don't have a featured image, it's not going to show up in the listing. So you've got to have one featured image. Just remember to hover over it and click the star. You've got to star one image before you can move on. So the next thing we'll do is, this is just information about your page. We want to make sure we put in a price. And you can label these before price label. You can type in here. You can say reduced or new price or anything like that. You want to come down here, make sure you put your state in. It's going to be in Michigan. If you have a property video, you can link it here. If you have a document or a PDF file with more information, you can link it here. We're going to click on the acreage here, okay? And so these are broad categories, and this is for our search engine. So we're going to put it in there, and you can also put in the exact acreage. So it's 755 acres, but this way it'll make sure it shows up in that category when you do a search. Okay. Now, if you have anything else, if there's a cabin or a building on the property, and you want to put in how many bedrooms it has, you'll do all that. If it's got a garage, 1-car garage, 2 bathrooms, whatever you want in there. You don't have to fill those out obviously if there's not a building on the property, but if there is, you've got that option. Now, there's property features. You want to make sure you click all that are on there. If there's a well, if there's waterfront, if there's electric, if there's lakes, marketable timber, that's where you can select all of those options. Okay, and again, floor plan. If you have a building on there, you can fill all that out. On the plan images, you have another option to upload additional pictures here, and you would do them the same way, only you don't have to make one a feature this time. But if you have floor plan, or if you have topo maps or anything like that, that's a good place to put those in right here. I like to use topo maps in this portion. All right, so now we're going to do please enter an address. Okay, so this is where we have the address and the map. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to type in Joplin, Missouri. Now, see, a lot of places aren't going to show up on the map if it's just a lot or if it's kind of a ground that's never been lived on. Now, if you have a home and you type in the address, it's going to show up on the map and it's going to auto-populate it right here. But if you're out in an area that it doesn't auto-populate, just put in the city for this and it'll auto-populate where you're closest to. Okay, and it'll get you put on the map. So this one we'll say it's close to Joplin, Missouri, and it auto-populates everything else. Okay, and if you have more information, you can put it in there. And now it shows you the latitude and longitude of Joplin, Missouri. And that's if your address doesn't show up on there. Okay, so now once we've done that, let's go ahead and submit the property. Create property success. So what happens is it automatically brings it over to your agent dashboard, and here is your property. Okay, and everything we typed in: great deer country, it's in Joplin, Missouri, huge bucks from this ground, roam this ground. Okay, so that's where they show up, and let's click on it and take a look at it, and so you'll see how it looks when people bring it up. Okay, so when somebody finds your listing and they click on it, this is what it'll look like. Your featured image will be there. If you have additional image, they'll be across the bottom here so people can scroll through and look at them. As you come down, you'll have the description. You'll have an opportunity to share it on Facebook, so I definitely encourage you to do that. Share it on Twitter and Facebook on your site. Your picture will be right here. The contact information will be right here. All your features and everything that you put on there, and there's the map. Now, on the right side here, we have mortgage payment calculator. People will be able to check their mortgage, just a rough estimate. They'll be able to do more searches and sign up for an email. Again, your contact information shows up again right here, so people can send you an email directly to you, and people can review and comment on your site. If you click on the Contact Us page, again, that just shows people the information again. It'll show your picture, your information that you put in, let them send a message to you, and it'll show your other properties right here. Okay, so that's the way to look. Now, if you want to get back to your dashboard, just click on Agents, go back to Agent Dashboard, and there you are. And we're back to our site. It'll show you how many properties remain in your subscription. And as you add them, they'll just keep going down like that. So just repeat the process for as many properties as you have, and everything should be up and running on your site. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us. You can send us an email at support@deercampproperty.com. Thanks for being with us, and we look forward to seeing your properties on the site.